boys. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Expanded Guide. Today, we're going to be talking about Monterey Jack, the archaeologist, the guy with 1 brain, 4 book, 2 fist, and 5 foot. That's what we call him. Also, Cheese Man.
We usually call him Cheese Man. Yeah.
So Monterey Jack is the one of the Edge of the Earth investigators, which means that he switches from his starting class into another class in terms of like what you see on the front of the card.
One might say he upgrades.
Yeah, one might say he upgrades.
More in one way.
So he is, I'll get to his ability, but his deck building is Rogue 0, Seeker 1 to 5, Neutral 0 to 5, and up to 5 other Seeker cards at level 0. So while he's green on the tin, you pull it open and there's some juicy yellow goodness inside.
Cheese.
It's all just cheese. He had to be yellow, right? His reaction ability, at the end of your turn, if you started this round round 1 location away from your current location, either gain 1 resource or draw a card. If you started this round 2 or more locations away, you do both instead. This is an interesting ability because it actually scales worse with the number of players you have, right?
Yeah.
And it's like Ursula, where like in 2 players and 1 player, you're going to trigger that easily every turn because you're looking at moving. You have 3 or 4 players, and you're going to be sitting on it around a lot, and you're going to sometimes feel like you have to move. However, turning your move actions into other things or using other cards to get clues off of places you leave is a good way to leverage his ability to great success. But, I mean, economy for doing what you're going to be doing is hard to say no to. Yeah. But there will be times where you'll feel bad about not being able to trigger it this turn. But, you don't have to trigger it every turn, especially in higher player counts. His Elder Sign effect is +1. If you started this round 1 or more locations away from your current location, gain 1 resource or draw 1 card. So basically just his ability in his Elder Sign. His signatures are the Trusty Bullwhip. This is a 2 cost, one-handed item, weapon, melee asset. It's fast. Just snuck in there in that little text line right there.
Oh, it is.
As an action, you can fight. This attack uses foot instead of fist. If this attack succeeds, you may exhaust Trusty Bullwhip to either automatically evade the attacked enemy or deal +1 damage. This is actually a really nice signature weapon for Monterey Jack.
Yeah, it's an item, so it's easy to pull out if you want to kind of build around it. It's got good symbols if it isn't something you care about doing.
Yeah. And it also allows Monterey Jack to kind of just go off and do his own thing.
Yeah.
And he'll come crawling back when he gets a Frozen in Fear, but other than that, yeah.
Honestly, very well designed personal.
Yeah. His signature weakness is Buried Secrets. Put into play in your threat area. If your location can be investigated, you cannot move except by scenario card effects. As an action, investigate. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, discard Buried Secrets. If you fail, you may take 2 horror to shuffle it into your deck.
I like this as a personal weakness, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's it is a good chance that it's going to actually be relevant to you. It's going to slow you down, but it's not crippling.
Yeah.
And
if you need to get rid of it in 1 action, you can just eat 2 horror and return it into your deck. But if you have the time, you can just make sure you pass and get rid of it.
There's a little bit of a balance there too, where if you're in a situation where you need to move now, there's a real chance that that horror is going to be threatening too.
Yes, yeah. His strength is a great stat line. 4 in his book, 5 in his foot, which you actually have some leverage over. Especially with some Scarlet Keys cards that came out, which we're not talking about in this video, but they'll have their time in the sun eventually. His 1 brain and 2 fist are pretty. I mean, Travis and I were just talking before how 1 brain, while also a weakness, is also a good because it means your other stats are.
Yeah, the stats gotta be somewhere.
Yeah, he has a strong ability. He's also yellow. His weakness is 1 brain, a level 0 card pool, which is a big part of Monterey Jack because you kind of don't get...
You don't get the base secret cards that are really, really strong, or you don't get very many of them. And then rogue level 0 cards there's some good ones. I mean, Unbreaking Endering's very strong, Faustian Bargain's nice, but Green's... The strength in Green's card pool comes from the experience cards.
Yeah, so. It's a weird thing where you're kind of while the pool's good, you're kind of getting the worst part of each pool.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's also a little bit too yellow because he's...
cheesy.
Cheese, yeah.
A little moldy.
Yeah, a little moldy cheese man.
Yes.
All right. Anything you want to say about him before we move into the cards?
Yellow with a little green layer on top.
It is... Oh, my God. Don't eat that cheese. But if it's hard cheddar, you can just cut the mold right off and keep eating.
He's probably fuzzy, too.
Yeah. If it's soft cheese, don't eat it, no matter what. Just some more cheese. We should start a cheese channel where we talk about cheese. I know very little. That's about
Do
my
a video of which cheese the investigators are most like.
Yeah, and it's all, and then they're all just cheddar except for Monterey Jack, which is Monterey Jack.
Yeah.
All right, on to the core set, Travis.
Yeah, we got our yellow staples here. There's that little symbol, the little elder sign on the top right. If you see a little stamp there, either the elder sign or the clue one, I think is here, is the other one.
Yeah.
They get talked about in our staples videos, so we're going to kind of gloss over them, but the staples videos will be down in the description. And we got magnifying glass, Dr. Milan, and deduction. They're always here.
Yeah. One thing that is probably the hardest part about a level 0 Monterey Jack deck is the 4 book.
Yeah.
And because you only have like...
And which yellow cards to include.
Yes, right? Because then you have to like want to get my book up, which is why commonly... at least for Travis and I, when we built our Monterey Jack decks over time, they ended up being like Crystallizer of Dreams event-based decks to kind of like balance that out a little bit. So it's just because, there's a lot of good level 0 cards for your 5 splash cards.
Yep. And you also have pickpocketing. You have 5 foot, so evading things is nice to be able to draw a card. Get a little bit of extra value out of that. Leo DeLuca has a solid level 0 ally. If you're not going to devote one of your yellow slots to an ally, one of the good ones, then you have to play a green level 0 ally.
And there's really only...
It's only like a couple of them that are playable.
For Monterey Jack, too, it's even smaller, right? Because you're not playing Lonnie Ritter.
No, not playing Lonnie Ritter. I hope not.
Yeah.
But anyway, Leo is one of the options for that. We have Elusive, just a really good card. It's printed and pretty solid even to boot. Backstab and Sneak Attack are solid damage options for you. And Flashlight is a good way to help mitigate that 4 book while not expending any of your yellow slots.
It always just...
It's
like
it's
Flashlight.
such a good card,
yeah,
man.
Flashlight, we were just like, it's fine. Now we're just like, keep going. It's a banger of a card.
Flashlight stocks are up, man.
Yeah, they are. You should have. Did you buy when they were low? Because if not,
Yeah, go and buy your core sets. In case the 4 copies you got weren't enough.
yeah.
We have our pile of skills here. These are the ones that you care about. Wow, imagine that.
This whole page is a staple.
Yeah, and then emergency cash gets you money, and magnifying glass is magnifying glass, but doesn't take your level 0 slots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. All right, on to Dunwich. We got Shortcut. It's a staple, but a little extra point here for our good cheese man is that this card is going to replace itself either in the card or it's going to give you a resource because of his ability. If you use it on yourself,
Like
that
it
is.
costs -1.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's like, small effects like this are just nice boosts of power that is unique to Monterey Jack for himself as an investigator. Russ, you trying to go to the next slide? It's not time yet. Liquid Courage.
I don't like Dunwich cards. I don't talk about them too much.
I've heard it.
I'm tired of Shortcut.
I'm tired of Relic Hunter and Charisma.
Yeah.
Liquid Courage, it's a good way to heal. You're probably not aiming to heal additional times from this, but it is a way for you to just cheaply heal. Only costs 1 resource to get it out there. I'm out of here is a fast panic button that you can resign. It also commits for 2 foot, which is like worst case is pretty nice.
Foot.
Lone Wolf, because you're going to be on your own quite often with Monterey Jack because you can survive. Lone Wolf is a nice option to get more money. Quick Thinking is a staple. Take more action.
More action, good.
Pathfinder, he's on the card, so that means he better be good.
You don't need to be on the card for this one to be good.
No. But it does have that extra juice with Monterey Jack,
yes.
right? Where because you're moving, you're going to be gaining,
It's
resources
also
or cards.
it's also very good with to break sort of if you're playing an evasion. Monterey Jack's very good to break sort of the evasion stalls.
Yes, definitely.
So.
Yeah, because you can evade the enemy and then just
Peace out and then draw an extra card. Hopefully draw something to buy you out of it later too.
Yeah, and actually there is Monterey Jack, he actually can do a very fun like combat build as well. It's obviously less efficient than like a Guardian with guns and weapons, but
with a gun. Yeah.
but like you actually can build a pretty fun deck with him. Upgraded Deduction is a staple. More clues, good. Relic Hunter and Charisma gives you additional accessories or ally slots, which are always good. And then we have Higher Ed. This is a fantastic card.
Really good for Monterey Jack. Shows up a lot of his weaknesses.
Exactly. And then the other thing that's really nice about Monterey Jack actually can do a really good hand size deck. because you are going to be drawing so many cards just passively while moving. If you're not doing, like, it's harder to do with, like, full event slinging, but it's still, you can do it. And then also, like, if you have the 5 cards, you can just grab resources with your ability as well, and then also use those to give you more brain.
Yeah, you're playing more towards, like, the static hand size with stuff like the book.
Yes.
As opposed to, that we'll see later, maybe, as opposed to, like, trying to abuse Farsight, right?
Yeah. I do that. Farsight is definitely a thing you can do with it as well, because you just can draw so many cards with our boy Monterey Jack.
Yeah.
But higher education, even if you're not doing it, is just like spend 2 resources to go to 5 brain. Seems pretty good. And then Decipher Reality is a nice big flashy yellow spell.
It's here.
It's here, yeah. Notably, this one actually gets to get a clue off your location as well when you investigate, because it is an investigate action, so it grabs 2 clues off your location.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
All right.
So we got field work, move to location. If there's a clue on it, I mean, those are both things that you want to do, and then you get better. This is a great way to help mitigate that crappy bookstore, or, well, not crappy, but subpar book score that we talked about. Logical reasoning is a great way to get rid of frozen fear, and it does other things too, I guess, but, you know.
Honestly, it's probably like a great one of your 5. Like, if someone put this as their 5th card in every Monterey Jack deck, I'd be like, I get it. You know, that's smart.
Yeah. Watch this as some valuable level 0 economy, because you don't have access to all the super juiced yellow stuff. We got some experienced yellow cards. In the Know lets you investigate any revealed location plays if you're that location. This is nice for, like, if you want to constantly get value out of your ability every turn, but there's still clues on a location you moved away from, you can kind of make that work. Forewarned is a nice way to dodge problematic treacheries. Shortcut level 2 is shortcut that, I mean, it stays. In some situations it's worse, some situations it's better, but it doesn't take up any level 0 slots. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Arcane Insight is like a super flashlight.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Key of Use is like a pretty good card.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty alright.
It's okay. Oh, Eavesdrop.
Alright, Eavesdrop. This is the choose an unengaged enemy location, test book X, where X the evade value of the chosen enemy. If you succeed, discover 2 clues of your location.
It's one of those cards that every time I look at, I'm like, every edition, I'm like, this card's bad. And then, like, every once in a while, Bryn will bring it. I'm like, this card's pretty okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, you need to be a high book, high foot investigator to use it consistently, and what do you know? Monterey Jack is a high book, high foot investigator.
All he is, actually.
Yeah. So, like, it is one of those things, where it reads and you're like, this is never going to happen. But it's not a humanoid enemy. You can listen to a whippoorwill sing a song and then, like, you know, learn a clue.
You okay, Monterey Jack? You doing okay?
But yeah, no, it's a lot better than it reads. You handle this one, gets rid of your frozen and fears, give it to your mystic, and, you know, your rotting remains, just they're not your problem. Lucky Cigarette Case just lets you draw more cards and you succeed by 2 or more, which you're going to do with most of the builds you have here, whether it be your add foot to book to investigate or just go really high on your book.
Yeah, this one's a little less consistent for Monterey Jack than it is for other green investigators, partially. It's also, like, a little bit less necessary. You have card draw from your innate ability, and also you have access to yellow cards, which give you all the card draw you could ever want. But also you don't have access to upgrade lockpicks, which is a big part of it, which is one of the more consistent ways to trigger your Lucky Cigarette Cases.
Yeah.
So
Slip Away lets you evade, adding your book to it, and if you succeed by 2, you get to freeze the enemy if it's not elite.
I like that card a lot.
Yeah, me too. Quick Study. If you want to, like, place clues to get high skill value, this is a way to do it. It's also, like, you don't have this, like, some of the level 0 cards for the clue drop in. I'm curious to see if Monterey Jack. I mean, you could. You have research notes. Those are, like,
that's the only one you need.
Yeah, it is the only one you need. So, like, you could actually play with it. That
your deck could probably be garbage for the first, like, scenario or 2. But, like, after you get a little bit of experience in it, probably.
Yeah, because you can play press passes as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in the Scarlet Keys video.
Yeah.
Ornate Bow. This is what part of the fight Monterey Jack is.
7 fight, baby.
7 fight, 3 damage. And if that doesn't kill it, you can, like, evade it and then, you know, knock another arrow. Yeah. It's very fun. We got the Ancient Stones, which are, oddly enough, just slightly out of order.
Yeah,
The level
what
one
happened there,
I
Justin?
honestly,
What'd you do?
I actually don't know.
They're not even like an alphabetical order?
No. I have no idea. I just was like, I probably put them together because I was like, these have to go together, and then I just put them in the wrong order. So we'll start in the middle one, the unidentified one. It says an action you investigate, +3 shroud for this investigation. If you succeed, discover an additional clue your location. Discard ancient stone, record in your campaign log that you have identified the stone, and record the difficulty of the skill test. So just shroud value that it turned into.
Yep.
This is going to be amount of secrets that come in on the upgraded version, and they each care when you draw cards. Yes. The knowledge of the elders is when you draw cards, you can spend that many secrets to deal that much damage to an enemy or location. That would be kind of fun.
That was like a little silly.
To move into a location like with a whippoorwill as your last action, draw a card with your ability, and then just kill the whippoorwill. That seems kind of cool.
This one's like pretty good just in general and yellow
just
characters.
drawing cards. Yeah.
You just like go to an enemy's location. You're like, I'll play cryptic research, and you'll explode.
Yeah. The other one is heal that much horror from a card or location, which also isn't bad in Monterey Jack because he has a lower horror value.
Yeah.
It could be one of those things like you could Shrewd Analysis. It does eat one of your level 0 secret cards.
your yellow level 0 secret cards are just... You gotta get relics and the translate stuff because you're an explorer.
Yeah, exactly.
Shrewd Analysis and then like,
Just
you know,
get out of
4
them.
other identified things and you upgrade into this ancient stone and man, you're off.
That actually could be a pretty fun deck. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Last card here is the Noctic Manuscripts. It's just allows you to like pass 3 tests unless you add more secrets to
like
it.
someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be you.
Yeah, it could be just, it's a very nice, powerful card. Cost 5 is 5 experience. Takes up a hand slot, but it's
Just
very
good.
nice.
Circle Undone. We got Cunning. This skill gives you foot and book. Those are the things that you have and use. And it is contingent number of resources you have, which...
You'll have.
Yeah, it's not too difficult to stack up resources in Monterey Jack.
I mean, you only need 5 for this to be playable, right?
Mm-hmm. And 10 is like, nice.
Yes.
So, well connected. There is probably an option for a larger money build. Obviously not as optimized as other green characters because you don't get like upgraded well connected, but it's still like fine if you're worried about even if you're just gonna sit there with like 10 resources or whatever and then use this as a +2 every round. That's fine.
Yep,
it's pretty good. Intel report, great green card. Honestly, should probably be in the green staples video, but just get clues without trying. Tennessee Sour Mash is it's an option. You can't actually play either of the upgraded ones, which is kind of funny. But
he only drinks the cheap shit.
Yeah. It is 2 guts, which is nice. Mr. Rook is a really good yellow ally. He'll find whatever you want him to. Sometimes he'll find unidentified secrets or whatever.
Yeah, the buried secrets. I mean, that is seem really sick. Like you just like start your turn, grab 9 cards, grab your buried secrets, get rid of it.
It's also on theme. Mr. Rook and his secrets. He's like they're in the ground.
Yeah.
Like, damn it.
Yeah. He's like he just gives him a shovel. He's like get digging. He's like, why don't you dig? That's not what I'm here for.
No, I just give you the secrets. You keep digging. We have our occult lexicon. It's a tome. When you play it, you add 1 blood right picture to the right to your hand and shuffle 2 into your deck. Blood right does lots of things. It draws cards, it discards cards, it gains resources, or it does damage to enemies. All are nice things.
Also, because it's a 1-of, it's a really nice 5th card of your 5.
Yeah. We like blood right. Death 13 is +1 book, and that's it. And that's fine. Yeah. Aztec Atlas is just another movement option.
Yeah.
Oh
shit, that's it. It's done.
It's pretty rare that they work out evenly like that, huh?
Yeah. All right, Crystallize Your Dreams. This is the one we talked about earlier as a way to kind of just like, if you're going to be playing events, it's a really nice option for Monterey Jack to be able to boost his book, because a lot of the events you're going to be playing are going to probably have a book or a foot symbol on them. So it does take up your accessory slot, and it brings this Guardian of the Crystallizer.
You don't care about him, though.
Yeah, he comes into play exhausted.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, not actually. The babies are in the crystallizer, but
yeah, they're the ones you're drinking.
Fruit Loops.
We got Practice Makes Perfect. Yeah, even in Monterey Jack, you can play Practice Makes Perfect.
Yeah, it's a little bit weaker than like for other investigators. Your options for green practice skills are pretty limited. I think it's most like momentum at level 0. It's like still okay. You're gonna have to devote a lot of your yellow slots to this. Realistically, it's gonna be the 2 Practice Makes Perfects. You could skimp on the deductions if you really wanted to and just go straight into the upgrade ones. And then, there's a pile of level 0 other yellow skills you might want to consider, like analysis and the one with Trish on it.
Oh, plan of action?
Plan of action.
Yeah.
Both solid options. And then perception, of course, is like the other one you want to play.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, like, is phase practiced?
Is what? Is it what practice?
I think it's called Fey.
Oh, Fey. I think that one's innate.
It might be innate. We'll find out with the power of the binder. It's innate. Dang, that'd be a good one.
It would have been a good one, yeah.
This is me. I'm doing this one. You were just talking about.
They have truth as practice too, but we'll
Yes,
get there.
yeah. We have the Dream Diary, which just takes up a hand slot. You can search your bonded cards for Essence of the Dream and add it to your hand. And after you succeed by 3 or more during a skill test to which it's committed, you record that you've interpreted the dreams. So you just got to pass by 3 or more with unexpected courage committed.
Oh no.
Oh no.
How are you going to do that?
It's
with your green character.
We then have it upgrades into Dreams of the Explorer, Madman, and Child. What's different is now it always goes into your hand at the start of your turn if it's set aside, which is very powerful, especially when you use it in the Mythos phase and you're like, come back to me, child. They also get additional symbols if you had a 4-shroud location or higher. If there's an engage with an enemy, and if you have 8 cards in your hand.
All things that could happen very easily.
Especially with Monterey Jack. Like, I think he's like the one who is like, can easily hit all 3 of these boxes.
Yep.
And then we got the Eye of Truth, which is practiced. And it's very good. It gives you 4 wild symbols. And if it's successful, you get attached the treachery that it was successful onto the victory display, and then everyone gets that.
Yeah, you never die, Rotting Remains again.
Never die.
Or
never die.
Fear.
Yeah.
Never care about them again.
Never, ever. Then we got the segment of Onyx. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is, it's myriad, so there's 3 copies of it. It's fast. You can run less than 3, but I don't advise it for this card.
Yeah, that's probably not a good choice.
So if you have 3 in play as a lightning bolt, you can set them aside and then search your bonding cards for the Pendant of the Queen and put it into play. The Pendant of the Queen is a sick-ass medallion that comes in with 3 charges. You can exhaust it and spend a charge to choose a reveal location and either move to that location, discover 1 clue at that location, or automatically evade an enemy at that location.
Fish in the art.
There's a fish in the art, yeah. Just hiding down because it's in the water for the first one.
Yeah.
Had to go digging for it.
Next time you do an Arkham trivia thing, one of the questions be how many cards have fish in
on
the
them?
art?
Yeah, that's a great one. It's a great one. 2.
At least.
At least 2. One counting deep player cards.
Yeah, player cards. Yeah.
Oops.
Does it count as 1 or 2? There's 2 of them in the art.
Oh my god. You know what? I'll worry about that for the trivia. But yeah, no, it's a great card, and also just like what's nice about this one is that obviously all effects are really good, but this also essentially says draw a card, gain a resource, because you're going to be moving across the board if you do the move option for this.
Yeah. Yeah, so for Innsmouth, if you want a detailed breakdown of the Blessed and Curse cards, in the video description I'll have a link to the relevant archetype guide that we did a while ago for each of them. Monterey Jack plays like a pretty solid Curse archetype. You get a handful of the level 0 stuff.
You get Faustian.
Yeah, you get Faustian's the big one. Like Dark Ice Wolf, that's something you care about. Which can be nice if you're trying to play around the Gaze of Uraksh.
Yep. Yeah.
He can play the book too.
Yep. Yeah.
The Grimoire.
Yep. He also has like, you get Deep Knowledge. You get like the Great Zero ones. You get Stirring Up Trouble.
Yeah, you basically get the yellow curse package plus
Faustian.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, the other good cards from here are Breaking In and Ring. Like a really good card from add your foot to it cares about using your foot and your book together, and those are good stats, so like nice.
It's 9.
Yeah. Truth Beckons is a pretty solid level 0 way to move multiple locations actually. It was a little bit niche, but when I played it, it was good. So, yeah. And Hyper Awareness level 4 is pretty juiced.
It's pretty juiced.
Yeah.
It's like a bad.
It's like a bad go on.
It's like a bad higher education, right?
Kinda.
But like it's still just like.
Except it's free.
Yeah, right. Like it's still like one of those things where just like it's still very good, right? Because you get like 1 free higher education a turn, which is like.
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's very good. All right, on to Edge of the Earth.
Oh man, 1 green card made it. Oh no.
Yeah, we'll start with that green card. It's Scout Ahead. Just move up to 3 times, and he's not engage you during this movement. That is him in the art. And yeah, the card's good with him. Yeah. It's also 2 foot if you don't need to move.
Oh man, do you think we'll ever get a campaign about like uncovering the Necronomicon and like the City of Pillars and stuff and Alhazred's journey?
I hope
go
so.
Off into the desert. That'd
I
be
hope
really
so.
cool.
Yeah. I just hope that, I mean, I like Guardians of the Abyss. I hope that's not our only Egyptian themed.
It's not even Egyptian. It's just like the Sahara
it's in
Desert.
yeah, it's in yeah.
It's in Africa, but
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so.
Middle East kind of.
Jeremiah Kirby. He gives you +1 book, which is very important.
Yeah.
He also will give you a bunch of cards in your hand if they're even or odd and you call it, and those are the ones on top.
That was like the most convoluted way you could have said it while still just saying the same number of words that were on the cards.
You know it, baby. All right, Heavy Furs. It takes up your body slot, soaks for 2, and you can basically re-roll by dealing a damage to it any non-auto-fail symbol token. Symbol token, not number. Symbol. Join the caravan. This is we're already in the experience cards, huh? Not much at level 0 for this guy. So fast. I mean, I suppose he is like shared this one with like Bob, right? So
Yeah, he shared the green cards with Bob, the yellow cards with Norman.
Yeah.
I mean, like there are like cards you can play in green and yellow for him. They're at level 0. They're just
they don't make the cut of the video.
no, they're not that great.
Yeah. So join the caravan. You reduce it. It's a synergy card, so they have an effect depending on the number of different classes you have in play. This one reduces the cost by 1 for each different class among cards you control and move to any revealed location. Notably, this will cost 3, which for fast is not terrible because you'll probably have a yellow asset in play. Monterey Jack is one. It's not
pretty
terrible.
Reasonable. I like astral travel.
Yeah.
And this is just better. So
yeah, and if you're playing any of the gold cards that give you 1 additional class, this costing 2 is very nice. And then we got the Squid book, the Octopus Archive of the Conduits. So the level 0 version. Oh, I'm not playing with you. Sorry, Russ. I'm not playing with you. Oh, you're about to get a problem. Sit up. You're on the internet. Be presentable. All right, so 2 cost, 1 hand slot, 1 per deck. Additional cost to play this asset. Place 1 resource on 4 different locations as ley lines. And then as a reaction, after you successfully investigate a location with a ley line, exhaust this asset, move that ley line onto this asset. Then, if there are 4 on it, discard it, take its ley lines as resources, and record in your campaign log that you've identified the gateway.
this was made for you.
It was. Yeah, because you're moving all over, getting a bunch of stuff.
It's a one of, so like you can only play one of them in your 5th slot.
Yeah. Notably, this is probably one of the hardest ones to translate. So you're probably thinking the effects are got to be good. And I'd say generally, yeah, the effects for them are pretty good. There's one that's like bonkers, and the other one's like, there's none that are like outright bad.
None are bad.
Yeah.
Like one of them is pretty situational, but the others are all solid.
Yeah, so we got the Gateway to Tyndalos. So you move a ley line from it to a non-elite enemy. They're each going to move ley lines. They come in with 4, and they move the ley lines to different things. This one is non-elite enemy. Choose an investigator and an enemy with a ley line at a revealed location. That investigator moves to that location. You may remove that ley line to deal 1 damage to that enemy.
This is pretty solid for like moving your goons around to kill enemies.
Yep. The Gateway to Acheron, it's to a revealed location, is the ley lines. And then you choose an investigator and reveal location with the ley line. That investigator moves to that location.
This one's pretty silly.
You may remove that ley line to have that investigator take an investigate action. Crossboard movement is very good.
Your turn is like, I'll put a ley line on the other side of the map that we need to go back across, and my 3 actions are going to be we're all there.
Yeah. It's very good. We have the Gateway to Aldebaran. So this moves to a non-elite enemy again. And then choose an investigator, engage with an enemy with a ley line. That investigator disengages from that enemy and moves to a connecting location.
Hi, Bryn.
Hi, Bryn. Hello. You may remove the ley line to automatically evade that enemy. Yeah.
It's like solid.
And then
Gateway to Paradise.
Yeah, Paradise, which you move the asset to from this asset to an investigator. Choose an investigator with a ley line. That investigator draws a card and heals a damage or a horror. So that's like endless.
Yeah, it's actually a thing. I should try playing this.
Yeah. And then you may remove that ley line to have them instead. Ow! Draw 2 cards and heal 2 damage or 2 horror. So it's like endless healing for a while, and then if you need the big burst healing, boom. That's really nice.
Yeah.
All right. Lots and Edge of the Earth. Survey the area. While it's in your hand or committed to a skill test, it gains book icons equal to your foot or foot icons equal to your book. So, yeah, those are your stats.
Okay.
Unearth the Ancients. You can investigate. This is the level 2 version, 0 cost. Choose up to 2 seeker assets in your hand. The difficulty of this test is equal to the combined cost of the chosen assets. If you succeed, put them into play one at a time, and for each relic asset put into play, draw one card. So this also is just like convoluted economy as well. Like you can use it to just put things into play.
Yep.
Notably, you still get the clue when you investigate with it. And when you're going to be playing a lot of Seeker assets, try it out.
Yep.
We got the Prophesy Profana, the book, the Atlas of the Unknowable. A 4 cost, 5 experience, takes up a hand slot, and while you're not at the locus, you get +1 book and +1 foot. You may ignore attacks of opportunity. What's the locus, you might ask? Well, let's keep reading.
Yeah, it's weird that they do that first.
Yeah. As a reaction, after an enters play, choose a reveal location. That location is the locus until the Prophesy Profana leaves play. And there's an action, move any investigator to the locus. Remember that thing we were talking about, how moving people across the map is really nice?
It's nice, yeah.
No, it's very good.
Yeah,
and then also just, like, gets your book up, your foot up, and you just ignore enemies. Like, you know, like, even if you had, like... If you had like an enemy that dealt 1 and 1 and there were 4 turns left in the game, it probably won't kill you if you just stayed with it every turn with this in play.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild. Hiking Boots. This one's really nice for Monterey Jack. You get +1 foot, and after the last 2 is covered from your location, you can exhaust it, move it to a connecting location with at least 1 clue or to a connecting unrevealed location. Use this ability as well. Jesus, Russ, you shit all over me. We got Eon Charts, 1 and 4. They take up accessory slots. You can use them to spend a secret and exhaust it to move, evade, or investigate. If you have the level 4 version, you get to do 2 of those things.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for the expanded guides where we talk about the tricolor cards from Edge of the Earth.
Yeah, good luck.
We got Antiquary and Crafty. They are they each come in with 2 resources. They each cost 3. There is 3 experiences, and they're each talents. These resources can be used 2 ways. 1, to be spent to pay for cards of certain traits, or to increase the skill value on cards with certain traits. Antiquary is Favor, Relic, or Ritual. We saw Favor in the level 0 cards in Rogue, as also we've seen a lot of Relics.
Yep.
And then Crafty is Insight, Tool, or Tricks. We've seen Tricks and
those.
Insights as well. And Tools. Yeah, there's been some Tools too.
Yep.
Just some nice options for Monterey Jack. Then we got Janae Beauregard, who is just really good with Monterey Jack and also just really good in general. Get +1 book, +1 foot. After you move to a location, you can exhaust her to move a clue or a non-elite enemy from a connecting location to your location or vice versa. This is also a good way to mitigate that weird struggle with Monterey Jack's ability where you just bring the clues with you.
Yeah, she's pretty obviously intended to be played with him, and just got pushed a little too hard for other investigators.
Yes. Last few here, we got 2. We got Ice Picks. You can use these to get +1 skill value while fighting or investigating. The upgraded version, you can also then, if you succeed, you can discard Ice Pick to have its attack deal +1 damage if you are fighting, or discover 1 additional clue if you are investigating. We got Professor William Webb, which is how you can scavenge Ice Pick back.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can't play scavenging otherwise, but you can choose item cards and you just grab pile and add them to your hand. And also, like, you could probably maybe do some other fun stuff with items there as well.
Probably.
You think Professor William Webb's ever like, yeah, I gotta tell you a secret, and then you lean in and he's like, I got more ice picks in my pocket. Like, what?
It's like, I never have enough.
Finder of hidden connections. Like,
Yeah. And the connection is this weapon into that ghoul's brain. We got On the Trail. These are ways that you can either move or
get clues or
get clues.
both. for
Or
the
both.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much the card.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, return to. So we got Hyper Awareness level 2. This is worse than the level 4 version and better than the level 0 version. Nice. We got Logical Reasoning level 4. This one is, in case you really need to heal a lot of horror or discard a lot of tarot cards.
Yeah.
It's really good, both of those. We have an alternative Ancient Stone. This one still does the secrets, and when you draw a card, you can do the thing, and this one lets you move. Wow.
That is kind of sick.
That's the thing you want to do. You can move, and then, like, at the end of the turn, you can trigger your ability and draw a card, move again. Then upkeep, you can draw a card, move again.
And just never stop moving.
Yeah.
Zot.
And we have our upgraded Cult Lexicon. This one, the Blood Right, goes to the Blood Right still. When you play a copy of the Blood Right, you either change each 2 on it to a 3 or shuffle it into your deck instead of discarding it.
Really nice.
Yeah.
All right, the Investigator
It's not
Decks.
too big.
All right, Winning Green, she cares about rare books, but also apparently relics as well.
Yeah, those are things that you care about too, as
Yeah.
a explorer.
So while you control the tome or a relic, you get +1 book, and after you reveal a location or put in a location in play, you get to exhaust her. Search the top 6 for a tome or a relic. The upgraded version also gives you a brain and 9 cards instead.
Also, I think she's a great ally for Monterey Jack.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
She's also a 2/3, I think.
Yeah, she gets one more horror soak as well. Level 0 lockpicks, which obviously is a lot worse than the level 1 lockpicks.
Yeah, this one feels like a little bit mandatory at level 0 for a lot of Monterey Jack decks, I think. But like, you don't want it for a while, for a long time.
And I mean, like, especially like I think if you have Scarlet Keys and you have Thieves Tools, it's a good replacement for it, right? But if you don't, you have a smaller collection, lockpicks, you'll be investigating with 9, so you're like unlikely to break it.
But you could. You draw the all fail one time, you're kind of like, you're investigating a 4-trial location, you draw the -4, and you're like...
It's one of those things where you probably want to play it to just make your deck more consistent, and it's not your only plan to get clues.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Streetwise, honestly, seems kind of sick. Spend 2, get +2.
Yeah.
Spend 2, get +2 foot as well. Then we got Pilfer. You gotta just use your foot instead of your book while investigating. If you succeed, discover 2 additional clues. It does cost 4 though.
+1, baby.
But yeah, it's very good. Nimble is... Yeah, move while using your foot.
Oh man, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
Yeah, move.
It's very good. Nimble is like one of those cards that like most of the time you're like, yeah, I'm happy you're here. And then when it like does its thing, you're like, you are the best card in my deck.
It's a big scary when you get to evade, you're like, I'll see you in hell.
Yeah.
You run 3 locations away.
The upgraded Esoteric Atlas can now do 3 connections away. Just more movement. I've got a plan allows you to fight with your book at +2. You deal +1 damage for each clue you have to +3.
Max +3.
Max +3 is +4.
No, not +4, just 4.
+5.
No, Justin, stop.
Wow, +8 damage. No, but card's sick.
Kill anything.
Yeah.
Justin's really taking this rules adjustment thing to heart, right?
Yeah. Do that what?
Perception, 3 book symbols. It's the
Yeah.
upgraded version, 60/2.
Yeah.
Okay. Farsight.
I made it in. Nice.
Yeah, I added this one in
Oh, okay.
For the last little bit. Just because like I played a Monterey Jack and it worked really well. You do need to work for it, right? Like it's not one of those things where you just put this in and you go.
Yeah, it worked.
And then the Necronomicon, which is just
It's like a
juicy.
good deal card, yeah.
How
So it
many
doesn't let you move,
perceptions
though.
is that, though?
So is it really that good for Monterey Jack?
It doesn't let you move. That's 2 perceptions, 2.5.
That's so many perceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like 6.
Well, only if you pay 3 for it.
Oh, I'm talking about just the symbols on it.
Yeah, no, I was talking about how many perceptions it actually is, though.
No, those are unexpected courages.
Yeah, those are different. They're actually better.
Let's be honest, they're perceptions, though.
Yeah. They might be manual dexes. They might be.
Or 2 infinite perceptions. Here's a Monterey Jack starting list. We have our 5 yellow cards selected, or 1 field work. Great one of, in my opinion. 2 shortcuts and 2 deductions. Nice simple stuff to help support your early game. This is a Crystallizer of Dreams deck. So we're playing a big pile. Yeah, everything, you're happy. Big pile of events here. We have 1 of I'm Out of Here as our sort of odd out green card. 2, you handle this one so we don't die. Scud Ahead is a solid movement card. Slip Away, deal with enemies. Eavesdrop to get extra clues. Pilfer also to get extra clues. Make use of all those foot symbols that we're going to get out of our events. 2 Faustian Bargains, paying for things cool. We got 2 Leo DeLucas, because he's the ally that we can play that isn't really trash. 2 Flashlights, because can't play our yellow book boosting options. And then we got some Nimbles, some Perceptions, Quick Thinking. It's just really solid skills for Monterey Jack.
Yeah.
Really, really easy, really simple deck. If you want to prioritize upgrading to the deductions, those could very easily be something different.
Yeah.
But
He is always a little bit... I find he's very awkward at level 0, but then when you start getting some experience, his consistency goes up.
I find he's like I actually find he's kind of more awkward at level 0 than Lily is.
Yeah, I think especially with the new stuff a little... I mean, I actually haven't played him also with Thieves Tool, which certainly helps his consistency a bunch, but... Yeah. Well, that's it. We have Lily left for the Edge of the Earth Investigators, and then we only have 3 Investigators after... Well, actually, we probably have to do the Scarlet Keys Investigators.
And the dogs.
Well, the Scarlet Keys one's like they're gonna they're going to be part of the new one, kind of, because they'll get the Scarlet Keys cards in them. Because it would be really weird to do the expanded guide for them without the cards from their cycle.
That is true. I mean, but they already have their new player guide, which kind of covers that as well.
I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, there's going to be more of these. 2 weeks we have Lily Chen, so we'll see you all then. Thank you so much for watching, and go eat a bunch of cheese in celebration of Monterey Jack.